We left off last chapter with the under-20 team being down to Blue Lock 2-1 and heading into the locker room. Will they fix their problems and will Shidou make an appearance? Also, I don't have to wear a mask anymore. Let's get into it. Hey everyone, Bruce Dissection Anime here. Hope you're doing well. I am, because I got a brand new smile, and we're talking about Blue Lock Chapter 122. But before I get into that, guys, I gotta thank you. As of the time of this video, I just hit 60 subscribers with the mask, so I can't thank you enough for sticking around with me through all that. I know it was a long time, but I just wanted to keep making videos even though I was healing and recovering from my dental surgery. So I really appreciate you guys sticking around and hitting the 60 subs. On the way to the milestone of 100. We're gonna get there hopefully soon, but I just want to thank all you guys before I got into the review, so appreciate it. Blue Lock Chapter 122. So obviously we left off last chapter with the kind of the final goal of Blue Lock before the half, or actually I'm sorry, we left off last chapter with Blue Lock defending against the under-20 team before they could score before the half, holding out 2-1. And we saw the defenders get kind of hyped, get kind of serious. I'm sorry, I saw the forwards and the midfielders get serious and hype, while the defenders we see this chapter are actually kind of dejected and very kind of let down by themselves because they underestimated Blue Lock. They flat out admit it. They underestimated the power, the force of Blue Lock strikers, right? So we go into this chapter, and this review might be a little bit short and a little bit different from my usual because this is sort of what a setup chapter is. This is a transition chapter. There's not much action going on in this chapter, but there's a lot here. There's a bit here, I should say. But so this review might be a little bit different. But so we saw the defenders are dejected. We see in the hallway the manager of the under-20 team is getting grilled by the president of the Japanese Football Association to crush Blue Lock, to do something, berating him. And we finally find out at the end of the chapter that Shidou will be put in, even though that is acknowledging Ego's style of football, as I have predicted for a few chapters, that this match is really just about proving Ego right, even if Blue Lock loses or ties. Or wins. Anyway, their style, Ego's philosophy about football is proven. Ego's philosophy is proven with these past chapters, as I have predicted, as many have predicted, that this match is about proving Blue Lock's philosophy so we can transition post this match to something, I think, bigger, because we're going to have to see a world stage. I feel like Blue Lock is just heading there, but this match is just proving, to the world, to Japan, to the association, to the players, that Blue Lock is correct. Ego is correct in his football philosophy. Also, before I even continue with that, Chigiri's family, though. Now I got that out of the way. I had to get it out of the way, guys. But going on from that, we see the locker room. We see inside the locker room of the under-20 team, we see Atoshi Sae kind of come out from the showers, which is weird if it's a halftime, so we kind of already see that he's not interested. And as soon as one of the defenders speaks up about what they should do, as actually all the defenders speak up about what they should do, Atoshi Sae just says, I'm done, I'm leaving. Puts moisturizer on. Says, why did I stick around? I just wanted to see I was curious about Blue Lock. You guys can't handle it. My curiosity was finished. It's over, it's done. And he even acknowledges Blue Lock, I think, a little bit. We see him say that he says what they're aiming for is different than the under-20 team. What Blue Lock is aiming for is different than what the team he's on and what a lot of Japanese football is aiming for. So we see him acknowledge, at least, even though they're rough around the edges, he says, they're aiming for something bigger, which I think he does respect. He even thinks about his brother his brother Ren for a split second there. And I like that what he thought about was the pose with the aura coming off Ren, because that even shows Ren's getting into it. So I liked that image in his head, and I like that he is acknowledging, even if begrudgingly, that Blue Lock is showing something he's interested in, and his curiosity is piqued. However, that's not good news for the under-20 team. And as I mentioned earlier, the president of the Football Association says to put Shidou in, even if it does prove Ego right. And we see Aiku kind of not beg, it's just say like, oh, hey, Say, you don't want to see what could happen if Shidou's in? I was wrong. I don't want to taste this feeling. Let's go. And Shidou's like, what, do you think something like me is not interesting enough for you on the football pitch? And Say, in one of the coolest panels I've seen in Blue Lock, no lie, even though it's not a super hype one, he grabs the jersey and it's flowing and it has the number 10 on it, and he looks like an ace, even though he doesn't care about really this match for the team, but he looks like a proper ace just by being there. It's one of my favorite panels, but he calls out Oliver, actually, that he says, you know, this is what you were aiming for, wasn't it? And we don't see Oliver's eyes, we just see his smile and like a little music note bubble. So he's like humming, so he's, you know, I guess this is really what he was aiming for. So that's really the chapter, guys. Like I said, it's a transition one, so there's not much for me to talk about in way of what, like, developments in a match. You know, there's no hype moments, but we can talk about one. I've already talked about Ego's philosophy being proven correct. That is just flat out apparent now. Like, there's no denying it, nothing. In terms of theories right now, some people are wondering, in typical kind of sports manga fashion, you see this a lot. I think Shidou's going to come on and score like a minimum 2 to 3 goals. He's going to put the pounding on Blue Lock. They're going to wonder what to do, and we're going to see some subs. Theories abound, right, that Kunigami is going to come in from the wildcard room and sub in with maybe some new technique, a new dribble, something, and he's going to kind of help spur Blue Lock on to come back. I think that's the prevailing theory. My one is, I think they're going to sub in to get the ball rolling, no pun intended, Baru. I think they're going to sub him in first to kind of devour one of the players on Blue Lock, on the under 20 team, sorry, or even Blue Lock. He's done that too. He's going to devour someone to get a goal back to kind of spark things up, right? That's my theory right now. But other than that, predictions for how the second half is going to start. First of all, we don't know if we're going to see Blue Lock's locker room in the next chapter. I feel like that would be not the whole chapter. It can't be the whole chapter, but this chapter was devoted to like the families, the hallway, and the locker room, and the field. I think we're just going to see, you know, the first 2 pages of the next chapter. We're going to see Ego be like, oh yeah, you know, in the second half, do this, continue how you've been doing, think for yourselves, yada yada yada. Somebody's going to say, oh, you're not going to tell us give us any advice. And he's going to say, shut up, think about it. No, I think that's what's going to be the first 2 pages. Just a quick shot to the locker room, because there's not much to say. You're doing well. Keep going how you're going. Now, how the second half is going to start, I think we're going to see Shidou immediately get like just like a rainbow kick, like a Pele kick into the goal. I think that's my prediction. I think they're gonna even it out, equalize with like a really flashy kick from Shidou. Obviously, we're gonna get reaction shots from the players in Blue Lock, but I mean, they know this is coming, right? They know he's on the team, is right. They know he's can show up. So, I mean, it's not like he's gonna be like, oh wow, oh, Shidou's here, what? No, they're gonna be like, okay, so they're subbing him in, kind of deal. I don't think anybody should be shocked. So we're not gonna have really those moments unless, you know, unless they thought, you know, they would have played Shidou if they could. Maybe if they think, maybe they'll be like, oh, I thought he was injured, oh, you know, whatever. But in any case, right, that's kind of my prediction for the second half is going to start next chapter. We're going to start out in the locker room real quick and get to the action, but the second half is going to start with a flashy, just immediate, I'm talking immediate flashy goal from Shidou to end of the chapter, because they have to make, the author, I think, and the manga, and the drawer and the author want to make an impact real quick, so they're going to show a flashy goal from Shidou. Other than that, guys, like I said, this review is going to be a bit short, just because this chapter really is a transition setup chapter, and I've talked about Ego's philosophy being proven correct in my theories. So I appreciate you checking out the video, guys. If you like it, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. It really helps out the channel. I appreciate it. Like I said, heading towards that milestone of 100 subs, and I really appreciate everyone who's subbed so far. 60 subs is amazing in the short amount of time I've had, so I really appreciate it, guys. So until next time, later.